So somebody was asking me about the Great Conjunction and saying, what does it portend? And so I know this very talented Christian mystic, for lack of a better word. She's amazing. And what she says is, she'll quote Agra, which is the Great Conjunction is the end of the world or the beginning. And begin. All the same. Big change, exclamation point. Something good, something bad. And she goes on to write, fans of the Dark Crystal will know the importance of the Great Conjunction. The alignment of multiple suns isn't possible in our solar system, unfortunately. But the meeting of the giants of our world is. When Jupiter and Saturn come together every 20 years, culture begins to mutate. Kings consult magi in a panic. And the promise of a better world is up in the air, and the two protectors of the outer reach come together. The zeitgeist gets a new hashtag. So there are some astronomers saying this is the closest conjunction since 1623. Others say it's the tightest since dawn, March 4th, 1226. And she goes on to write that she finds the latter more interesting because it was in the air and it wasn't fire. And it was also a time when Genghis Khan looked up and realized that not only Jupiter and Saturn were aligning, but all the other planets as well in Aquarius. So after killing off at least 10% of the world's population, he called it quit and died shortly after. The Great Mutation Cycle, as Johannes Kepler called it, had a pattern in which it moves through the elements. He called them trigons. And they move counterclockwise, changing from one to the other about every 240 years. For instance, the conjunction of the winter solstice of 2020 is in air, as in Aquarius. And for the next 200 plus years, every 20 years will remain in the air. Looking back, with the exception of the conjunction of 1981 in Libra, we were living through Earth times when they change elements. There's a transition period, and it goes back and forth. So what does it mean to be moving in air? One interesting way of understanding where we are going is by looking back, peering into the past. Since the early 19th century, all the conjunctions were in Earth signs, and we have completely reshaped the Earth. We've sucked out nearly all we can from her. We've chopped and burned and poisoned and polluted our body in trade for the modern world we live in today. Jim Morrison wrote about that. You know, what have you done to the earth? What have you done to our fair sister? So without the raping and pillaging of earth, we would not be engaging with this material today. And so looking forward to air, we have space and life to encounter out there. Virtual realities. And we have a lot of remembering to do. Music, language, stories, oral traditions, and all the healing powers embedded in each. All of which need air to travel in. So the two of them are going to come together at 1% of Aquarius on the solstice. And that is December 21st, in a couple of days. And the Chandra symbol for this degree is a two-headed calf. And it's the coincidentia oppositorum, the path Parsifal walks between two peaks or polarities in a world dreadfully divided on nearly every aspect, divided on everything we need. We end up depending upon the matrix, the machine. And so now it's a time for prayer of the resolution of the opposites and understanding of paradox and tolerance. In essence, we're dealing with an alignment that has fascinated and frightened sky gazers through the ages. You don't need to be a wizard to know the world is changing. Yet it's helpful to have one around to help make the connections. It's our personal responsibility to change with this alignment. It challenges us to look at the world we inhabit and ask the question, how can I improve it? How can I bring clarity to my language, to my stories, to my music, to my relationship with the machine? We are the music of the spheres. Musica universalis. Singing and dancing and humming and vibrating, as Pythagoras pointed out, whistling that eternal song till the end of time. And so it's not time to be afraid. It's just time for us to change our language, to tell better stories, to listen to better music, to hear what's inside of us, and to ignore the fear-flinging. This is only another beginning. Oh no, I've said too much.